Uganda's push for a prudent communications industry is linked to the possibility of effectively supporting the country's economic growth by an extra 10% to the gross domestic product. According to the industry regulator, Uganda Communications Commission, the telecom sector coverage, a key element to communication, is currently at 90% coverage, essentially targeting effective services in finance, tourism, arts, and the like.
We are renewing the license of MTN and moving Airtel from being just a cellular operator to a national telecom operator, and now also like a Tangerine and UTCL. They have an obligation in their license that they must extend their coverage to 90% of the geographical coverage. The recent boat accident, these are the very reasons why we're insisting there should be coverage on the lake. So that, because you won't have emergency communication if there is no coverage. When we talk about the parks, we're not talking about animals being given smartphones. But the experience you have when you see that lion walk across in front of you, if you don't freeze and forget you have a phone, you will want to describe that experience at that time. Now, for a country like us that is saying we want to boast and celebrate and actually reap from the tourism beauty that we have.
At the start of this month, among the many ICT infrastructure developments that were confirmed by the ICT Ministry, major parts of the country have been connected to the national backbone infrastructure and the slash on the price of internet bandwidth for MDAs. Reforms that the Communications Ministry expects to make impact.
The national backbone now extends to all regions of the country, spanning 4,300 kilometers, extending connectivity to around 1,466 government offices. So, over time, we have expanded the reach of this national backbone infrastructure, got many more government offices hooked on the NBI, and also lowered the cost of internet, and this has resulted in efficiency in the government service delivery.
Sections of IT-based service users and consumers weigh in quite differently in regard to the local internet and communication cost, which ranks otherwise as compared to regional states such as Tanzania and Kenya, despite likeliness of change following the slash from $70 to $30 per megabyte per second for government MDAs.
But when it comes to costs, I think there are other innovative business models that have come into the picture, known as pay later or pay now, pay later. I think you heard someone said is from pay later. So we mainly call them hire purchases. So there are entities, for example, like M-Copper that are issuing mobile phone devices on a hire purchase. So a farmer can actually pay on a seasonal basis. So they pay a small amount of money, let me say 50,000 to start with, and they are structured to pay back the loan of that mobile phone for over 12 months. So there are flexible payment plans that are actually enabling access to these mobile phones. So for me, I think that's a very innovative app
called NITAU. It's responsible for providing internet services to government. So it has been deliberate. Just last week, the executive director announced a reduction in prices. But this is for government, but we believe it will have a cascading effect to the private sector. So we believe there will be benefits, and people probably will tell whether they are comfortable with the new prices.
While regulation of the industry is widely threatening, highlighting issues such as over-the-top tax in telecoms, the contested 2% charge on gross revenue of licensed media houses, UCC's Director of Corporate Affairs, Feather Tunu, observes oversight over the industry as simply outward and inspired by national development plans.
Lastly, whatever we do as a regulator is not inward-looking. It is outward-looking. In other words, our regulation is connected to the wider economy of Uganda. We contribute to the NDP3, all the NDPs, especially 2 and 3, we have a role in the achievement of National Development Plan. Our regulation has contributed to the transformation of other sectors like education, health, tourism, defense, and so forth.
Government's partnership with Chinese company Engo Holdings is positioned to support production of ICT gadgets meant to effect substantial use and reliance of ICT infrastructure as the country leans towards digitalization. Ivan Tibenkana, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.